Welcome back to the Illinois State Fairgrounds Speed Sport here for the Springfield Mile, one of the legendary mile events on the Grand National Championship calendar. Field all lining up, 4 rows, getting ready to go racing. Ralph Sheheen and Scott Russell with you. It'll be the 42 of Brian Smith on the pole, but boy, he's got a lot of fast guys and gals around him throughout this field.
Well, this has been a great runs all day long throughout the heats and semis. I suspect nothing different in the main event here, Ralph. It's going to be hot and heavy.
As they come off of turn 1, Smith is going to have the lead from the pole position on the Kawasaki number 42.
Boy, he took up right where he left off in his heat race. The 42's been so strong all day. Coolbeth's been good on the 2 right now as he's going to slot right into second. Just kind of sit there on that wheel. It'll be interesting to see what kind of race unfolds here, how much battling we're going to get, how much following the leader we'll get.
Kenny Coolbeth has been chasing him all day and starts off the main the same way as the first of the 25 laps go in the book. Now the Ducati powers its way around up into second place as Jake Johnson takes that Hyper Motard up a position.
He made a nice move around the outside of Coolbeth to sit right up on the back wheel of Brian Smith as he goes down the inside. Makes that look super easy right there. Now, can he get away? That's going to be the trick.
Big, powerful Italian-built Ducati up at the front here at Springfield. It looks a little more stable, Scott, than it did in its heat race.
He was a bit twitchy. It looked like he had his hands full in the heat, but he's definitely found his way up to the front of the main event right here, and this is where you want to be, at the sharp end of the stick in this kind of race, and you don't want to get shuffled too far back. We know how close this racing is, and anytime you can stay near the front, you less your chances of getting into trouble.
But Smith with that Kawasaki EX650 seems to get back around him almost as at will, and then Johnson right back going into 3, and Henry Wiles sits there in 4th in those green and white leathers with the black helmet on.
On that Kawasaki, just sitting there waiting to see if there's anything he can do with number 2, Coolbeth. He's going to look down, and the lead's going to change again.
And that's the thing, Scott. Any of these guys in this top group of 6 riders are all in a position right now. You can win it from 6th the way the group is stacked right now, because they all know nobody at the back of that group like Jared Mees is going to get too nervous. Look, here he comes, slowly inching his way up. Try to take a spot now. You got 20-plus laps yet to go.
Exactly. There's a lot to figure out right here, but we've seen throughout the heat, it really pays off to be more near the front of this group. There hadn't been a lot of the draft passing right at the finish line like we have seen in the sometimes, and you can see right there as the 5 tries to make a move on Coolbeth. It's almost like you're in a good spot if you're leading or in second, I think, coming off the line for the last lap, but still got a lot to figure out.
And Scott, take note as they come off of 2, the number 1, the factory Harley Davidson of Brad Baker, the reigning champion, has moved up into this group. And Scott, he's even dinged up a little bit with his wrist.
He's coming off a broken arm. They said the screw backed out of his arm about a ½ inch. They duct taped him up and put him back out on the bike. These guys are super tough, man.
And let me tell you something, if the screw backed out of my microphone, I'd be calling it a day. And this guy's got one backing out of his arm and he's still racing. It's incredible.
These 3 right here in the front are really doing well. They've got a little bit of a breathing room right now over the 44, and the 44 is trying to get back up on the wheel of him. That's Brandon Robinson.
Oh, Johnson just stuffs it down in there from 3rd. He got halfway up onto our leader and had to lift, and he's going to settle into 2nd. Wow, that could have been disastrous, almost taking out the top 3.
Man, coming off 140 miles an hour down into these corners, the draft suck you in like that. When you make the move, look at Coolbeth. He's going to repay that favor and go around him on the outside. So this ain't going to happen again.
You got to have a lot of trust in your competition because things happen quickly and in close confines when you get down in these corners.
You know, being a mile track too, as fast as they're going, they eat these straightaway up so quick. And then that next corner's coming, and that's where all the action happens. And it's that late no braking, just stand on the throttle a little bit longer.
I'll tell you what, that Ducati's still moving around. Look at Johnson to the inside here. He's going to the front, and the lead changes. 5 of them already in this race. That's the thing about this form of racing. These early lead changes, and we're about to have another one here. That's number 6. Almost don't matter because you don't know what's going to happen until that last lap.
I know, but you just got to keep fighting and try to stay near the front of this race because anytime a guy passes, you want to get right back on him.
You're almost forced to take the lead because the run into the corner takes you so far down in there. Even if you didn't want to go to the lead, you almost have to, like Johnson just did there, as we have lead change number 7.
Exactly, and then there you go. You're at the front of the pack, and then I got to work the way around you again the next time. So anytime you can do that, that's what you're going to see a lot of this all race long.
And the crew did a great job prepping this racetrack too, Scott. It's really held together an afternoon race here for this Springfield Mile. A lot of times these miles take place at night, different track conditions, late afternoon sun here. This one looks fantastic.
It does look good. I think it's to the 42 down. Smith again. Not going to be able to pull it off quite.
And remember, Scott, Mees was all the way at the tail end of the pack a while back. Look, number 9 is right there in 4th now in closing. Baker still sits at the back of the group on the number 1. That's the Harley-Davidson Motor Company entry. That's the factory-backed Harley.
Got Bonzi in there. Henry Wiles running near the tail end of this group. A lot of heavy hitters in this one, Ralph. It's anybody's game still.
And now Mees looks inside like he's going to maybe try to break into the top 3.
That Kawasaki, the 42, it looks super stable. He's looked good all day coming off the corners. Looks good down the straightaway. He's going to be tough to beat, Brian Smith.
You know, we talked about the wide variety of brands competing on the tour now. They all look evenly matched here too, as we are working our way through the first stages of the Springfield Mile here on Speed Sport. Race fans, whether you love dirt, asphalt, 2 wheels, or 4, you need to be Speed Sport equipped with cool t-shirts, awesome caps, and great Speed Sport swag. You can get your limited edition merchandise now. Just go to nationalspeedsportnews.com, click on the store link, and start shopping. Throwback tees, shop racks, and everything you need to be ready for the races. That's nationalspeedsportnews.com. Click the store link.